On my other channel, we had brought up integrity today. But I want to talk about integrity and morality here, especially from comic book creators. And let's start from the very beginning of where this controversy is going to start. And yes, this is going to piss some people off. I once said that fan art is theft. And technically it is. There's no arguing it. It is theft. I was asked by many close friends for me to stop referring to it that way. But it equals the thing. The problem is that no one enforcing it means people get away with it. I also famously said, well, how long until computers can make art and all the artists get all upset because they start taking their art? And is everyone going to be okay with that? I was told that AI art would never be good enough, and it wasn't a concern. It was only about 6 years ago. Now, of course, if you've been into comics or online and you're just alive right now in America, you're hearing about artificial intelligent art. Now, artificial intelligence has stolen other people's art and has used it to create its own way of creating art. And it's funny because some of these creators who create fan art really think their art's being stolen. And you know what? It just might be. It's doubtful for many, but there are a few that are definitely getting their stuff swiped, which they never had a right to, by the way. When they created it from a copywritten character, they couldn't even take AI company to court, believe it or not, because they never had the legal right to draw that. So think about that for a second. And look, I get it. Artists wanted to make money. What they wound up doing, and I saw this over 10 years, is have tables go from $75 to now $250. The tables at bigger shows, which are around $250, now go for $600, $700 now. That's what they did by overinflating, by taking things they never had the right to. Does this make artists evil people? No. But does it make them immoral? Does it show they don't have integrity? Morality itself is a slippery slope because it doesn't have the best definition. I like integrity better. They are doing something they know is wrong. Even when they're fighting whether or not it's right or wrong, they know it's wrong. Because laws help us know what is right or wrong. They just interpret because the other companies are making so much money, they have a legal right to it. I've had this debate. No one's beaten me in the debate. And in the debate, I had racial slurs thrown at me for just standing up to this. I've had people come at me. I even had someone threaten to harm me because of an honest view. Let's go further than that. All right. We've established fan art is illegal, especially when you sell it. It's just factual. Whether the companies are going after you or not, you're doing something wrong. AI is doing something wrong because they're taking other people's art, melding it together and teaching the AI how to do things. So no matter what, that AI will always be compromised from this point on. Where fan artists can always make their own unique characters and therefore no longer doing fan art. And just so we're clear, if anyone's ever drawn a character from Marvel, DC, and they redraw it later, I don't think that's actually fan art. That's the artist recreating their own art. Do they own the characters? No, but they were paid to work on it. It's like a New York Giant talking about playing football for the New York Giants. So I see it that way, because I know that comes up in this conversation. Let's talk more about integrity, because morality is not something I feel comfortable talking about. And understand, I struggle with integrity all the time. To me, that's a symbol or it's proof that I have integrity. Forget the A. Because I struggle with it. And I think when you struggle with something, that shows you have integrity. I don't always know what the right thing is. And that's why I put these out for discussions. I don't turn my comments off. I'm always willing to have the conversation. And I don't think I'm completely right. But I know for this topic, legally speaking, there's no doubt about it. We have copyright laws for a reason. Trademark laws for a reason. Let's go further than that. Writers, a lazy thing, because I'm not just calling out artists in this one. Let's talk about writers. Writers do this thing where they Photoshop onto famous people their books. They try to use video clips to make it look like people are talking about their books. This is an integrity issue. To me, if I was thinking about supporting you as a creator and I see you do that, I get really upset. I think you're betraying someone's really hard work. Most people work their asses off to get where they are. And you're taking them and making it seem like they back you somehow. Oh, it's just a joke. Oh, everyone knows it's not true. What happens when it is true? What happens when creators really connect with celebrities who really like their work? Now they're going to be second guessed because you thought it was funny. It's not funny. Stop. It's an integrity issue. If you have to cash in on someone else's creations or just who they are to get ahead in life, then you're not creating something that people really like, are you? Because you have to cash in on someone. Look, I just failed the Kickstarter. I believe in that project will be back. I take blame for that failure. I'm not going to go stick it in Rihanna's hands because she had an S&M song. And maybe, as I'm told, this might be my autistic brain, maybe the ADHD brain, or maybe I just have integrity, where I would rather fail a Kickstarter than try to take from someone else's table. I don't care if their table has food falling on the floor, they have too much food. It's not my food. They want to offer me food, I'll eat. But they ain't offering food when you're just taking things and trying to make it seem away. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. And I think it shows an integral problem. Back to integrity being lowered. And there's this thing. It's the compromised morality, compromised integrity, loss of morality, the broken windows philosophy. So you go by an old house, an old warehouse, and see a bunch of windows broken out. You pick up a rock and you throw and you break another window. No big deal, right? But then those windows wear off. I mean, all break, they're no more. But you like breaking things. So now you go home and get a sledgehammer and you start breaking the building. Now the building becomes unsafe for the entire community because everyone thought it was okay. But now the neighborhood also looks crappy. So why don't I just start breaking into cars? Because this must be a bad neighborhood. That is the idea behind laws. Now, the broken window policy really hurt the BDSM community, believe it or not. Story for a different channel. And it was overbearing. I lived in New York when they were going by it. This was, of course, put into place by Rudy Giuliani. But ultimately, the philosophy is not a bad one. We do have to stick to morality. We do have to. I can tell you right now, fan art has caused the inability for writers and creators to show up at Comic-Cons now. They're just too expensive because everyone's buying the Disney stuff that someone else is taking without paying Disney. If you're not paying people who created something, sit down. I don't want to hear you about AI because you're taking from other people. You're just mad that now the fan base can go home and create anything they want. Better watch your table. They're taking pictures and going home and showing the AI what they want. This is I told you so moment, but more importantly, it's a wake-up call. It's time to see that what we do affects the world. And if we really want to be creators, we should create. And if you're not creating, then you're just an AI bot. The only difference is your programming has been through life and struggle. The AI bot just had someone type in some code. You're both the same. You're both doing the same thing. Let's stop acting like you're not. Except the one thing I'll give the AI bots that a lot of artists don't choose. AI bots will help writers create new worlds. And they don't ask for absurd amounts of money because they have decided that they deserve Marvel and DC pricing. They'll do it for a $15 subscription. Heard someone made a comic book for, I think, of all $45. I don't like it. Won't support it because it's AI. But believe it or not, it looked like it was getting popular. Kickstarter's sort of allowing it now. My point is that maybe we should worry about creating our own stuff. Maybe we should create new things. Because the less you create new things, there's always going to be something to take your place. And integrity always matters. And it matters most when no one's looking. Remember that.